So in this video series, we're going to talk about Pinterest strategy for your blog. Okay. You might be completely frustrated with Pinterest. Okay. Been there for a little while. But they did what they called a Pinterest Presents. And they basically just kind of opened the gate and it kind of showed all of what they're doing behind the scenes. We all knew they were working on something, right? Because Pinterest has been a little wonky. But it was really interesting. So I want to go over three things that I think we have to pivot. Okay, like I am a Pinterest strategist and I'm a Pinterest manager. So I have five of my own websites. I have several clients, and I literally met with clients and said, you're going to have to pivot a little bit. Okay, so let's talk about the three things that I took away from Pinterest Presents that I think I've been seeing over a little while, and now they've confirmed it. Okay, so let's talk number one, and that is who is on that platform. Okay, and it was really interesting. They really got into data, which I'm a data nerd. They talked about that the biggest population, like close to 60%, is Gen Z. Now, just honestly, I had to go look up Gen Z because I was like, age group is that? I don't even know which one I'm in. Um, Gen Z is 18 to 28 to 30-ish. Okay, so when you're planning out your pins and you're creating your pins, you've got to have them in mind. Okay, I have a travel blogger that I work with, and we have done this shift where I've changed her pins. And I've talked more to that Gen Z because I did a survey with Gen Zs because I have two nephews, two nieces, and a lot of their friends. And so they were all over. And I was like, I just have a question. Like, where do you guys search? And it was really interesting that they don't use Google at all. They don't trust it. They don't feel like it gives good answers. They go to Pinterest first. And then they also will search TikTok, which TikTok frustrates them because there's not any links or it's just people talking. So then they'll go over to Pinterest and um, do some research over there. Pinterest has become their search engine. So when you're creating pins, okay, you got to think about them. Okay, if a couple is 25 to 28, let's say, and they're going to travel or they're cooking dinner, like think about their family dynamics. It's either just the two of them or they're single, or if they have kids, they have young kids, like really young kids, like 4 and younger, maybe 5, but really like much younger. So as you're working on your pins, if you'll shift that, you'll pivot that, okay, then you're going to see a lot more traction. I did this with travel client. Totally shifted her pins, went more Gen Z, and already seeing a huge growth in that. Did the same thing with a food blogger. Like we are working on like what are those keywords that that mama that's 20 something, you know, and there's a lot of great keywords out there. Okay, and keywords brings me to a totally different thing Pinterest talked about, and that is Pinterest trends. Okay, if you go into Pinterest, you'll see Pinterest trends is one of those little things you can click, and it will tell you what people are searching for. Now, Pinterest made it really clear that they've spent a lot of money to work on that algorithm. Okay, so it's updated like really like all the time, like more real time than it's ever been. Okay, and I noticed that too, like as I'm looking for keywords when I go into Pinterest trends and use that, um, those pins are getting more reach, they're getting more saves, they're getting more outbound clicks, and they're ranking faster. Okay, so the great thing about Pinterest trends, and I'm gonna do a whole other video on Pinterest trends, but it will completely show you like when it peaks, when it does. So then you can plan out your pins. Okay, you can plan out that content calendar for Pinterest. Okay, so using Pinterest trends is a must at this point. Okay, if you want better results and better everything, like you need to be using Pinterest trends. And then number three, which at first made me gasp as a blogger, and then I was like, okay, breathe. There's a ton of potential here. So they are putting more, like if you start to look like in the search, okay, they've become way more of a shopping platform because these Gen Zs are shopping. Okay, so they're putting products above regular pins, okay, above blogging pins. And before, okay, I've already gotten mad for all of us. There is an amazing opportunity, okay, to create digital products, to upload those into a store, not Etsy, okay? Great if you have an Etsy store, but you don't own your Etsy store, okay? So you can't bring that catalog over. You might have noticed in Pinterest, it'll say, like, do you want to become a verified merchant? Okay, I did this in my own. I have a quilting site, I have a crochet site, and I have been putting I moved everything over to a Shopify store, and I'm telling you, it has been amazing. So, if you're a blogger, that just means there's another source of income. Okay, it could be travel guides, it could be little mini cookbooks. Okay, there's so many possibilities with that that I want you to start to dream a little bit. Sorry. So I want you to dream a little bit of what you could have. Now, sometimes we get stuck in our head and we're like, I have no idea, Connie. I have no idea what I would create. Um, then I'm here to help you. Okay. I have opened up a mastermind, and here's what I want you to do with the information from this video. I want you to go in and create 3 pins, just 3. Okay. I want you to create those 3 pins, thinking about that Gen Z. Okay, what keywords should you be looking for? What pictures should you be using? Okay, we're going to deep dive into that in this mastermind. Okay, here's the cool thing about my mastermind. You get to come into a Slack channel, so there's no Facebook group. You get access to me. Okay, I love looking at pins. I love strategy. Anybody's worked with me knows that. You can come in and be like, hey, can you look at these pins? Hey, can you brainstorm this with me? And Monday through Friday, we can brainstorm. Okay. You're also going to get some training. So the first training that drops is how to create pins. Like with this new strategy, how do you create pins that are going to get more outbound clicks, that are going to get ranked higher and faster? Okay, so I have a whole training for that. So each month there's a training that's going to drop, and you're going to go step by step because I'm not a big believer in you jumping around. Okay, like you don't need Pinterest ads if your pins aren't what somebody's looking for and they're not the right keywords. Like that's a waste of money. Okay, so we're going to go step by step. We're also going to talk about email and all the things, but we're going to like really take this through. It is individualized a little bit just because every blogger is in a different place. If you're monetized and you're looking to get more traffic, having a strategist in place who can help you brainstorm, who can look at your business from an outsider perspective and be able to say, here are the couple things to focus on. Okay, it just it it helps you grow and gives you that support. Okay, so I would love for you to join the mastermind. I'm gonna put information down below, but your task today is to create 3 pins. Okay, with that Gen Z, that 18 to 28-year-old in your thoughts. Okay, and if you want them reviewed, come head over to the mastermind, check it out for a month if you want, and get those looked at. Okay. I can't wait to see you grow. Like, yes, Pinterest is changing. Every platform's changed. Okay. It is just what happens. But we have such a great opportunity now that we know what they're looking for to be able to say, okay, one, I can create another source of income, but I can also get in front of the people who want my content, who need my content. Okay, so anyway, super excited to work with you. If you have any questions, put them below. And in the next video, we're just going to expand on this. When we're talking about strategy, what is it that moves that needle when it comes to Pinterest? Okay, so we're going to dive into the three things I talked about, kind of give some ideas, and just help you continue to grow.